When you look, there's an overall agreement on both sides as to what exactly is going to happen next.
Biden said the risk of nuclear Armageddon is at the highest level since 1962.
New comments today from Chinese President Xi have many fearing that the communist nation may be on the verge of invading Taiwan or more.
Because think about it, when have both parties always agreed on one thing? War spending. Now, while we're sitting here focused on the immediate, there's a longer agenda at play.
While they're doing what they need to do, they need you to focus on all this. They need you to focus on the CFR, Council of Foreign Relations. They need you to focus on NATO and the UN. They need you to focus on BRIC. They need you to focus on these different NGOs. When you do your homework, you start pulling up all these people who finance these NGOs. They need you to focus on George Soros. They need you to focus on everybody except who's really responsible for what's going on. This is all by design.
It's much like the art of war, where one side pretends to be weak when they're actually strong. The only difference is we're being played by both sides. And that's where the next part of the game comes into play. A kind of false win, so to speak. And there's a prosperous time coming very soon.
Yes, the economy's going to bounce back because this is not the global collapse everybody is predicting. It can't be. The elites playbook still has things that are left on the table that they've been preparing for and that hasn't come to pass yet. All this is a switch over to a unified payment processing system, a unified banking system that's going to be made to look like it was the idea of a patriot movement when it was the idea of the elites all along.
There'll be disruptions, like let's say, for example, maybe in September of 2023, when we have an internet blackout, so they can actually get rid of a lot of sites and information they want to get rid of. Sound familiar? It should.
The burning of the Library of Alexandria certainly ranks among the worst crimes ever committed against humanity. And it is widely believed that the losses of scientific research, including that of physics and medicine, as well as the losses of cultural and historical knowledge and documentation, set back the progress of human civilization by at least 1,000 years.
Remember, the elite and all those people in control, which you can never really tangibly tell who's who and what's what, they're always behind the scenes, maybe even underground, I don't know. But in the end, they're playing a much longer game than any of us can conceptualize. We are all right now thinking of this great collapse and all this calamity and stuff. And that's a distraction. That's the old watch this while the other hand does this trick. It's the oldest trick in the book and it works every single time. So while we're focused on the immediate stuff that we see now and we run scared and we're doing all this prep and getting all ready for these different things, none of that is going to happen. And we're going to have this win. It's going to be a false win because the real destruction, potentially, at least from one perspective, won't be happening for another 17 years.
That every 138 years, somewhere on this world, the Phoenix weapon destroys whole regions with quakes, volcanism, flooding, sonic reverberations, electrical discharges that vitrify structures, or buries communities under rains of mud from the sky. It is also connected to the disappearances of whole human populations.
But it's during that time the pendulum swings. And when it does, that's when the real control begins.
In my own prediction videos, I'm showing that the beginning of 2023, the pendulum changes. And we're going to start seeing the far right take over, conservatives will take over. The United States is going to internalize. Not only are we going to begin producing our own oil, but we're going to remove assets from foreign countries that need to be back in America. We're going to pull militaries back. We're going to get out of other people's business. We're going to basically rebuild our own infrastructure. We're going to rely on our own economy separate from the rest of the world. And financially, starting in 2023, all of my prediction videos, I'm showing the United States is going to become an anomaly in the world. It's going to be an empire that's basically internal to 50 states. And it's going to start house cleaning, but it's going to get out of control.
For me, I agree that we each have our own individual power within all the chaos. And that is inspiring. But not all of us will believe it or take advantage of it. In the end, of course, it's up to you whether you believe in any of the individual power or not, or whether you think it's escapism or what have you. But when you look in history, it's interesting to see how some people just seem to navigate the chaos without any harm or any ill effects. It's as if they're going through their life and none of the chaos seems to bother them. I think each of us has the potential to do the same thing. It's just one, believing in it, and two, actually following through with that. Think about the quote from Nikola Tesla. It's from the attention and intention that the magic really happens. It's intuitive living where you're basically following through on the twists and turns of life, where those things are actually welcomed rather than always trying to go in a straight line. Think about water. Water is a reflection of nature. It never goes in a straight line. The energy of water flows dynamically. And I think if you look at our own lives, it's supposed to do the same. Think about any creative endeavor you've ever done and how it does twists and turns. How instead of thinking that you're going to go from here to here, you happen upon the twists and turns. All this stuff that happens creatively along the way. These synchronicities that happen are a gift from the universe. And to just go in a straight line is to ignore all of them. And there's magic in those twists and turns. And so we're looking at going forward, whether it be individually or in society itself, it's like, let's welcome those twists and turns. And when you look more deeply, the straight line is actually a form of control. And it all starts with time itself. But that's for another video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you found the video helpful, be sure to give it a like. And I'll see you next time.